Okay guys, today's topic is 3 ways to get Twitter totally wrong. Way number 1 is oversharing. Remember that as a writer, you're going to have strangers following you. They want to hear about interesting books you've read, things about writing, links to interesting articles, and not so much about your bad case of dandruff. Baby made her first dirty diaper. Aww. Well, isn't that barftastic? Number 2 is constantly advertising. Twitter is a great place to interact with other writers and readers and make friends, but a lot of people don't seem to understand that. I see tons of writers all the time constantly spamming people. Just their feed is this constant stream of buy my book, here's a link to my book, oh my book is on sale. I don't know who you are, you haven't interacted with me, therefore I do not care about your book. Twitter is full of books. If I want to find a book, I'll probably go to an author that I actually have talked to before or somebody whose books I've read before and have enjoyed. On Twitter, you get a lot of authors who just follow you in order to be followed back with the intention of advertising to you. And if you take this tact on Twitter, basically all you're doing is shouting out into this void that thousands of other authors are shouting out into, and nobody's actually buying books. If I follow an author and there's a constant stream of Twitter spam from them, that is the first indication to me that they don't know what they're doing. And unfortunately, a lot of time it usually goes hand in hand with somebody who isn't really a good writer either. Not always the case, but a lot of the time that's what I find. They haven't researched Twitter or had any experience with it. Why would they do the same for writing? The key to Twitter is making friends. It is actually that simple. You establish friendships, people that you talk to regularly, interacting with everybody, and eventually when you do tweet that, hey, oh my god, you guys, my book is out tomorrow, I'm so excited, I'm freaking out, then you have these people that will retweet you, and they will tweet back at you and tell you, it's so cute, you're excited, I'm so excited for you, because you've interacted with them in the past and you've become friends. It's easy to do if you think of yourself as a human rather than a book-selling robot. The third mistake that a lot of people make, and I sort of was torn on this one because there's a lot more than 3 mistakes, but I don't have the time to make like a 3-hour video. So I chose multiple retweets. It's not a problem to retweet things every once in a while. It helps your fellow authors out. If you enjoy a joke somebody said on Twitter, you retweet that, your followers will get a laugh. Retweeting your friend's blog post or whatever, that's great. The only problem is when the author's feed becomes more retweets than actual original tweets. When I sign up to follow you, I want to hear from you. Even though you might think that this author you follow is great and funny and you should retweet everything, it's not necessarily a great idea in case your followers don't feel the same way. Your feed should be about 70% you. Your tweets. Not spam, not retweets, you. As an example of why you shouldn't retweet things too much is something that happened to me last summer when I started following a guy. I really liked his book, and yes, it is a big established author with a huge following. They made a movie out of his book, but he was being kind of a jerk on Twitter. He was really bashing religion, and after a few tweets it was just like, it was too much, and so I unfollowed him. But I had one person in particular in my feed that would constantly retweet all of his tweets. And I still didn't want to hear from him, so I ended up unfollowing her. I could have ignored a couple of tweets here and there from him. If she likes him, that's cool, but I don't want my tweet filled with him. That's why I unfollowed him in the first place. Don't let that happen to you. Honestly, I could talk about what not to do on Twitter all day long. There are so many other things, so this might be a 2-part video. Or 3-part. Or 4. There is so much good advice out there. If you look at something like Bad Redhead Media by Rachel Thompson, she has some really, really good advice out there about what, Twitter etiquette, what not to do, awesome stuff about Facebook and stuff that, a lot of the same rules for Twitter also go for across multiple platforms. If you have any tips for Twitter, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, fellow WordNerds, and I'll see you next week. If you have any twips, Twitter tips, if you have any Twitter oh my lord. If you have any Twitter tips for Twitter, if you have any tips for Twitter, If you have any Twitter tips, good lord!